So my wife and I just went and saw the movie Psycho Killer last night, and I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about it. Um, this movie is just complete and total garbage. It's basically about a state trooper who her husband gets killed by some random guy during a traffic stop, and then the rest of the movie is her trying to find the guy that did it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple concept, and that's to its own detriment because there are just so many plot holes throughout the movie. Basically, yeah, the dude gets shot at the beginning, and the guy basically just drives away, and then that's pretty much it. It's in Kansas, and he just gets away. The FBI can't find him. Nobody can find him, which is incredibly unrealistic because he has basically makes no effort to cover his tracks throughout the entire thing. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of different kill scenes, but the character decisions are, of course, incredibly stupid, as in any horror movie. But in this one, they're like some of them just make absolutely no sense. And the movie just it's kind of boring. Like about an hour in, I was like checking my watch and stuff, and it's only an hour and a half long, but it felt like it was like 2+ hours. The writing was just terrible, which is surprising because the dude who wrote it also wrote the movie Seven, which is widely regarded as a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've seen it, but kind of want to go back and compare it and see because I was just thinking to myself, if this dude is capable of good writing, how did he write this? Because it really seems AI generated. Like the movie literally seems like it was written by ChatGPT. Like if I typed in, write me a slasher movie about a guy who's a serial killer who there's a protagonist and they're trying to catch him. That is what I anticipate. Psycho Killer is what I anticipate ChatGPT would write. So, uh, really bad movie. As we were walking in, we knew it was going to be bad because we were talking to the people at the concession stands at the movie theater, and they were like, "Oh, what movie are you saying?" And we'd be like, "Oh, Psycho Killer," and they'd be like, "Oh," like kind of like, "Oh, I feel bad for you," almost. And then the dude who was checking us in for tickets, he was like, "Yeah, have you seen the Rotten Tomatoes score?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." So I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score. It's literally a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I didn't even know that that was possible because there's like 20 something reviews and they're all zeros. So I was like, wow, that's like a feat right there. I thought it might be like some sort of world record because I also saw War of the Worlds with Ice Cube. If you haven't seen it, I would say go check it out, but don't because that is probably the worst movie I've seen in recent memory. That one even has like a 4%. So to get all the way down to a zero is pretty crazy to me. So yeah, we go in, we watch the movie, and we knew it was going to be bad, but honestly, I would say it was slightly better than anticipated, just because my expectations were so low, and it was just it was pretty bad though. It was like I would have probably given it like a 3% if I'm being kind instead of a zero. I don't think it's a quite at a zero because there were some parts that were like so stupid that we were laughing at how bad it was. So like I wouldn't say it's a zero because if you're somebody who likes to watch movies just to make fun of them as we do, you might get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. There's a scene involving a semi truck, which I'm not going to go into. I'll put a spoiler warning when I'm going to go into the spoilers. Not that anybody watching this probably cares. Scene involving a semi truck is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. There are certain scenes where the main protagonist will have like an interaction with the killer, and she's a cop, so you would think like, oh, they're gonna catch this dude. She like obviously she just doesn't wait for backup before going in and interacting with the dude, and then he'll like attack her and then just get away without making any sort of effort to cover his tracks, and just it just made no sense how anybody in real life would get away. But it was like the writers, the directors, they didn't even like think about that. They were just kind of like, who cares? It's just kind of put that to the side for the movie. So yeah, the characters incredibly bland. There's nothing interesting about any of the characters, and the main actress Georgina, oh, I can't remember her name. She was in Barbarian. Um, she's usually pretty good in movies. She does her best with the script for this one, but there's nothing she could really do. She did everything she could, but still wasn't enough with the horrible writing. So just all around just dumpster fire of a movie. Yeah, there's the main killer is like satanic, like a satanic serial killer, which is, I mean, it's pretty generic, but it's incredibly corny. He's like drawn like pentagrams and stuff on the walls, but one thing you notice is that he never uses gloves or anything, and he's like writing stuff with other people's blood on the walls, leaving his fingerprints everywhere, leaving his DNA, and they somehow, the FBI is super involved. It's like the biggest chase in the country at the moment, and yet no one can figure out who this dude is. Nobody can find him. So it's just incredibly stupid. Yeah, and when they finally reveal, they're like kind of hinting at one point, like, ooh, the main character might know who this guy is. And I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional, but they immediately give away who he is when they're doing that. And there's like zero like shock. It's just like, oh, that's who the guy is. And you see it coming from like a mile away. And then later when they finally reveal it, it's like you already know who it is, so it doesn't carry any sort of weight whatsoever. Yeah, the acting is pretty garbage too. The main guy who plays the killer is just this jacked dude. He wears a mask. The mask is incredibly generic. It looks like every other killer mask except somehow more lame even, and more like they didn't put any effort into it. He then like he's just going around killing people. They can't find him. She can't find him, even though it makes no sense as to how they can't find him. And then there's practical effects for most of it. Then there's this one scene that's just like all CGI, and it just literally looks like it's AI generated. Like AI just, they typed in, "Hey AI, make this scene for us," and then they're like, "Yep, good enough. Looks good." But yeah, it was pretty bad. Then you get to the finale, and the finale is really stupid. The acting, the killer also talks with this voice. It reminds me of Bat Dad from that one South Park episode. So it's just incredibly corny, and it sounds super stupid. I will say there were like maybe 2 jump scares that kind of got me, but other than that, nothing good about the movie. Like, not really anything good. The worst part, in my opinion, is how they're hinting at like a potential sequel at the end, which I think now, having seen the reviews, there's a 0% chance of happening. If they do make a sequel, I don't know why they're pretty much asking to lose a bunch of money, because it is so stupid. One of the Letterboxd reviews said, the only terror I felt in the movie was when they hinted at a potential sequel. And I honestly agree, because I can't imagine going to see the sequel to this movie, even though I probably will because I go to a lot of movies. But yeah, it was just awful. Really bad movie, really bad acting. And then the way that they like win at the end, that they get the killer, spoilers, which who cares, is incredibly predictable. I was like, oh, this is probably how she's going to beat him. Does the exact thing that I was predicting. But the reason I was like, oh, they probably won't do that, is because I was like, that's too stupid. Like, they're not actually going to do that. Does the thing that I was predicting. Super stupid. Yeah, it was just all around just a horrible movie. I'm going to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. I'd probably give it a 1 out of 10. So, Psycho Killer, don't go see it. I'll get my wife's perspective in a second, but don't go see it. Horrible movie. Unless you're like looking for something where you want to make fun of it and pick it apart intentionally because you know it's going to be bad, then maybe go see it. Other than that, though, I would not recommend this movie to anybody.